Hello, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this special unboxing Wargame chat. My name's Alan from the channel. If you know me by now, welcome everybody. I'll just send out some tweets and posts for some reinforcements, as per normal. Here we go. Hope everybody's doing very well. Yeah, completely aware. I'm muscling in on SD History Con at the San Diego. Yeah, historical gaming con, virtual con. So a lot of people will be over there. But just thought I'd, as I say, muscle in and just show you some interesting stuff that came through the door. So and maybe another couple of things. So but welcome everybody. Let me know if you can see and hear me as normal. That'd be great. Todd, Auto, hey. Yeah, how you doing, mate? All right. Yeah, this is Patrick. Yeah, and Braun. Wow. Okay. What's up, Chuck? Where are you from? Liverpool. Hi, Carl. Hi, Michael. And Crossing. Whoa. Well, we got. Well, the size of my house, it's a full house for my purposes, certainly. Welcome everybody. Hope you all had a good week. Yeah. So just want to chat through a few things and a delivery which appeared, rather a big one. So I thought it deserved a bit of a war game chat to go through it and show everybody. Show off the treasure chest. Yeah, yeah, I know. Wow, everybody's here. they've all exited SD History Con and come over here, of course. Yeah, no accounting for taste. And Fred's here as well. Brilliant. Yeah. Evening. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. So I hope you all had a good week. Let us know what you've been doing, certainly games wise, or anything else you want to tell me. I'll keep stum and won't tell anybody else. Yeah. So Harold Buchanan. Yeah, there was yes, a discussion there. Sorry, I've missed all the history con stuff so far because I've been doing various other things actually this evening, and just one thing in terms, of course, if you hadn't seen it, well, of course you've seen it because you've been following the channel, but just started posting some recordings of Battalion Combat Series Multi-Man Publishing's Panzer's Last Stand, and yeah, just did the got the second video out. Hopefully, you're having a hopefully SD-Con's got nothing on the blue. Well, what can I say? You know, if you say so. If you say so. Can't see it myself, but okay. In the eye of the beholder, as they say. So yeah, hopefully you've been having a look at those. Let me know what you think of those, good or bad, or if it's really bad, then just don't bother telling me. All right. But yeah, interestingly enough, that is those videos, the first recordings I've done since the beginning of April this year. So I kind of moved straight into these live streams and had all these people playing games with me. Wow, what yeah, that was a bit of a aberration, but still got their blue tweezercon. Yeah, I'll try that. Actually, I'm trying to organise something a little bit special later on this month in a couple of weeks. Now I won't let on what it is, but yeah, we may have some different stuff coming on the channel, which may interest you. But I'm not going to drop any more hints than that. Just watch this space. Probably about 2 weeks' time. But watch out for the announcements. I've still got a few things to qualify on it, so it's not an absolute certainty. That's why I'm not letting you know anything, but there will be something else coming on as well. John says that 2 games are now in the wardrobe to play. Brazen Chariots, Last Blitzkrieg. Okay, the big guy. Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, let's get on with the unboxing here, because let's face it, you don't want to listen to me chat away. You want to see what I got. Hey, So there was the MMP sale recently. I don't know if you've been following a couple of. I think I was talking to Ruff about this last week, where I went into the sale. With being in the UK, usually the MMP prices are high, and but the MMP prices from MMP over the water, even though they do the sales, the actual shipping is astronomical. But there was a very good sale, so I thought, well, why not? I kind of did this like little calculator, got my calculator out, sort of tap 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 kind of thing, and I thought actually it kind of works. So I ordered 4 games, and a couple of days later I got an email from somebody called Vicky. Peter, hi, welcome. And she said, we actually don't ship to the UK unless you order $185 worth. $185, or was it? Yeah, $185 worth. And I was just under. I was 167, I think, like 4 games. They were in the sale, so fair enough. But so she said either way, you can cancel the order, or you can buy another game. So what do you think I did? Yeah, I bought another game. So, and as it is, even with the astronomical shipping cost, it was actually worth it. So, and the other thing is, of course, if you get these sort of special, expensive shipping stuff, they don't send it like snail mail. They don't put it on the fast boat to China or something like that. They actually stick it on an aeroplane and get it to you. So, wow! In a few days, here it is. So, this is it. The arrival. So we've got 5 games in here to show you. They're all MMPs, and I've all resisted unboxing them, just so I could show you. Although that's a little bit of stretch of the imagination, but you'll know what I mean in a bit. Blue Tweezers does miniature wargame. No, that will never happen. No, I tried a little miniature wargame when I was young. Sort of teenager kind of thing. I couldn't get on with it. I think my philosophy was that you ended up with lots of tiny figures, which, even though exquisitely painted, when you were kind of like 3 or 4 feet away, actually by the table, they kind of melded into one. It was like it's I don't know, a bit like a tiny miniature toast rack kind of thing. These figures sort of standing up. And I just didn't get it, kind of thing. And when I picked up board wargamings, where you've got the counters with information on and formation information and all this kind of thing, I actually found that much more engaging than miniatures. And the other thing is, the other thing is, you don't have to paint counters. It's kind of a lazy shit, but there you go. Just as in, hey. I definitely didn't say your name 3 times. No, not at all. 2.5, and I stopped myself. But maybe it slipped out from somebody else. How much is that shipping for the 5 games? Yeah, actually, I need to look that up, actually, because the 4 games was going to be about $90. And the 5th game, I'm not sure what it added up to. I just kind of held my nose and said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But if I give you this came out at probably about what was it? It was probably about $190. However, buying these games from a retailer in the UK, that's including the shipping, would have cost me probably about £250. So I kind of made it on this. Ruff's here. Way, my God, what is it? I mean, is the San Diego History Con, is it that bad that you have to come over here? Just like, I can't stand it. Let's go and see Blue. Sure. Best minis are the ones you paid someone else to paint, yeah, and maybe ship them as well. But yes, no, you're not going to see minis here, I'm afraid. Sorry, it's just it's pure board wargaming. I'm afraid that's your lot. Anyway, let's have a look at these unboxings. So what have we got first? We have No Question of Surrender. Hopefully that comes up on the old camera all right. Got the glossy stuff, but there we go. This is MMP's GTS series. So On the GTS side, I've got Greatest Day, which I got on a previous sale they did, and I've also got Operation Mercury, which again I got on their sale. So previously I'd just done the one game, but those are quite pricey games, and they were doing, I think, for $40. It was still about $70 shipping, because they're a bit chunky. But I've got those two. So this is my third one, and it's quite a light one. It's a one mapper, so I might actually be able to play it on something other than Vassal. But let's have a look at it. Hopefully you're familiar with GTS. It's quite a famous series now, isn't it? It's probably, well, you could argue it's their most famous one. It's the sort of Adam Starkweather series. I'm not completely au fait with the whole history of the series, but I know Adam went on to do CSS with Compass Games, which I've got one of those as well. I've got Tinian, and you may have seen the videos on that, a solo one, and also with I actually did a campaign game with Pat Mullen until too many Americans died. And what's going on in the chat here? Everybody's sending each other's emails. Jesse, you've been, no question, so you've been reading the rules. Oh, you're going to play it before the end? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, I mean, it's GTS, so the GTS rules are the GTS rules. So once you know them, you know what Mercury, you know Greatest Day. Well, I'm not really, but you know, you've got the gist of those anyway. So there's a lot to this series, and there's a new one coming out early next year. I think it's Race for Bastogne. I've got that on pre-order through a UK supplier. And that's the thing with MMP on pre-order. If you do it through the UK supplier, you have to put the money up front. It's not like a P500 thing where you pledge and then they charge. You kind of have to give them the money straight away. So that money was spent, I don't know, about a year ago now. Anyway, so what have we got here with No Question Surrender? We have our little cheat sheet from the supplier of what have we got here. So we should have a map sheet, 23.5 inches to 35.5 inches. That's slightly odd. That's a slightly odd dimensions, isn't it? That's 22. The old 22 by 34 is the standards. But anyway, okay. 3 counter sheets. Okay, slightly surprised there's 3, but maybe it's the informational markers. 4 divisional displays. No Question Surrender exclusive rulebook. Exclusive, very lovely. GTS rulebook, of course. 1 GTS rulebook summary. You need to summarise the rules because there's a lot of them. 2 CRTs, terrain effects charts and tables. 4 10-sided dice. 4. Well, you know, not like I have a lot of those already. Anyway, thank you for your purchase. Well, yeah, thank you for your delivery. There's our 4 dice. Blue, green, white, white. Or white, blue, green. So everybody played Mastermind. Yeah, you would have to check. You have to guess the colours. Right. No Question Surrender. Battle for Bir Hakeim. This is the Free French against the Italians and the Germans in the desert, I believe. Sort of fortified position. So we have the exclusive rules here. The exclusive rules has looks like 19 pages, which yeah, it's quite short actually, but isn't it? For these kind of things, you usually expect a sort of 20 to 30, don't you? Just as well, I am coming on the show at the War Room tomorrow. Yes, so you'll have you're going to get a weekend of me. Sorry, can't keep away. Can't keep away. I'll be in your face the entire weekend. So what have we got here? Special rules here. So night and day, weather, minefields, air power, counter battery, random events. Of course, the random events in GTS are sort of tailored to each of the situations. Hidden French AT guns. That sounds cool. Special rules for the Axis. And there we have the scenarios. So here we go. There's the start with scenario 1, and we start on page 10, I suppose here. So scenario 1, scenario 2, Italians and Italians. Then we have scenario 3. I think has, yeah, Africa Division here. Makes an appearance. Scenario 4, which looks like the whole grand campaign kind of thing. Yeah, and that's where we go. So 4 scenarios. Bit of a narrative at the end here. From Hans Korting, who... no, he didn't design the game. So it was Nick Richardson who designed the game. The series, of course, is Adam Starkweather, as you know. And some biographies. So yeah, and a terrain legend on the back. So that's that. Here is the Grand Technical Series. What version have they produced here? This is 1.1, so this is old. So you know, don't need that. Got the version 2 rules here. So this is the old style. But yeah, as it is, it's 36 pages, and it's all rules. I mean, well, there's examples, but it's all rules. There's no sort of gubbins at the back, you know, designer's notes, pledges, I don't know. Rule summary here. It's a bit of a booklet, actually. Yeah, there you go. And flowcharts. Now, I know on the GTS rules, I mean, on Greatest Day, these look a little nicer. They look slightly more snazzy with the sort of grey background, actually, than the Greatest Day ones. But there you go. First counter sheets. So this looks like the Italians here, and then we have informational markers here. Some of the pretty standard stuff. There's cohesion hits. There's barrages, that kind of stuff. We've also got some counter battery fire markers and things like that. So and here we have, I think, are those chits or these are variable? Yeah, these variable chits and stuff. Interesting. Yep, so that's our first one. You can order GTS games from me for double the normal cost plus the shipping, if you like. Unfortunately, then they've been unboxed. Charts and tables. This is pretty standard stuff, and again, probably been replaced by the version 2s here. But if you're unfamiliar, you've got this CRT, which kind of goes both ways. You've got get it right round. Armored targets, unarmored targets, and the different weapon types, and you roll on a D10. And interestingly enough, you've got a certain fire value, and if you get less than that, you hit. But the closer you get to that number, the better the combat result. So if you roll something like a 0, then you know it's not a particularly great hit, and the result is reduced. Actually, 0 is not bad. It's just the 1s and 2s, the low ones, which don't. Yeah, so that's the charts and tables. There's modifiers, air power determination, RAF arrival turn. Cool. Then we get the division displays. So we have the 1st Brigade Française Libre. Yeah, the Free French here with General Pierre Koenig commanding. So that's their one. Then we've got the 90th Light Division, Africa Division, there for the Germans. Bit more scenario information there. The 101 Trieste Division, this would be the Italians. And finally, it's the 103rd Arietti Division. So Arietti, of course, there's a TCS game that came out recently, which I got from MMP. And yeah, they're in that. So they're in this as well. And so we got second set of counters. Looks like we have French here. Who have we got here on the side? These Italians again, I think. Yeah, all Italians. So the French are just in this block. This is all Italians here. And these are the Germans here. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, Germans here. So there we go. That's all on. And this is our informational counter sheet here. Step losses and suppressed. Yeah, column markers, entrenchment markers, cohesion markers, barrage markers. So they got backs on them as well, of course. Oh, almost lost some counters in the process. There we go. And here comes the silliness. I'm going to try and unravel this this map so I don't smack into my microphone and just make a complete hash of the thing. But there you go. You can see that. I'll do a kind of Kilroy over the top. But that's our... so, wow, it's... The map is... Well, interestingly small. I mean, there's a lot of space over on this side, isn't there? I like these kind of these little goggles, sand goggles kind of thing here as well. I'll have to have a quick look at that myself. So excuse me while I let's do this side. We've got a map and compass in the bottom, so they've certainly had to fill out, shall we say, the map space here. Yeah. They ran out of things to put on the map, so the map is actually a lot smaller than the single map. Anyway, it's just this area in. I suppose that's the fortified, defended area. Yeah, so that's the map, one-sided, of course, and then just the box. Oops, bashed it. Yeah, I knew I'd hit my microphone with something. So that's No Question of Surrender, and when I'll get that to the table. Yeah, I've got a backlog here. I should say definitely a backlog. And it was the MMP sale that sort of provided the impetus for this. I wasn't looking to get other games, but No Question of Surrender, Battle of Bir Hakeim, a Tichy GTS game, which probably is just right for my table. And that's the first one. So we've got 4 to go. So, you know, if you need to go and make a cup of tea or, you know, comfort break or something, go for it, because I might be here a while. Right, what do we got next? We got oh yes, here we go. So this was the big purchase, which is BCS The Last Blitzkrieg. So I've been doing all the Panzer's battle stuff. Panzer's Last Stand, sorry, here, and that's the latest. This is actually the first BCS. Come and tell you, right? No, don't leave. No, it was a joke. It was a joke. I guess when I get sick of rough, I can never get sick of rough. How do you? Have you ever got sick of rough, Jester? How could I get sick of rough? The very idea, especially when he's listening. But I'll let you know. Yes. Oh, are you going? Bronny, you going back into lockdown again? Whoa. Okay. Has that been announced? Oh, tough stuff, guys. Oh dear. Yeah. So, yeah, get some gaming in. What can you do? Yeah, Last Blitzkrieg. So, there's 4 BCS titles, and this is the 4th in my collection. So I've got the Brazen Chariots, I've got the Baptism of Fire, got the Panzer's Last Stand, of course, you can see on the channel. So I've finally gone back to game number 1, Last Blitzkrieg, which is of course the Battle of the Bulge. Now, interestingly, here 3 weeks. Whoa, in the Netherlands. Gosh. All right. All right. Oh dear. I'm gonna at Christmas time. I'm gonna be popping over to Spain between Christmas and New Year. Hopefully, we'll still be able to do that. But let's see. So one thing that did prompt me, and maybe this is really, really good marketing by MMP, is that when I got Panzer's Last Stand, there's actually extra scenario sheets for this game and some extra counters, so you can extend the campaign. I'm going to do the campaign. yeah. And then I woke up. But there was sort of the end of the battle scenarios and stuff there, so they've added a bit in. So I thought, well, if you've given me bits of the game, then I might as well get the main bit. But anyway, it was half price. I mean, you know, not bad going really. So let's get into this and see if we can. Interesting to see if the shrink wrap will stay on the box lid, as I like to do. So I'll just cut into each side here and see. When we pull that, we Okay, yeah, it sticks together. When I did Panzer's Last Stand, all the shrink wrap on the front kind of went bunched up, and so yeah, it wasn't too good. But this, oh no, it's starting to do it as well. So I don't think I think it's a shrink wrap quality thing. Peter, you're locked down in Alberta. Guys, this is starting to depress the depress the chat here, guys. So, okay, yeah, yes, yeah. Okay, enough of the lockdown, please. Right, box lid, great, wonderful. Another of our little helpful. Thank you for your purchases thing. This is what you should contain: one box and lid. Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get it. 4 22x34 map sheets, so 4. That's the same size as Panzer's Last Stand. 6 counter sheets. Yeah, there was about that much in Panzer's Last Stand as well, actually. One Last Blitzkrieg specific rulebook. 1 BCS crib note booklet. 2 BCS charts and tables booklet. 2 Last Blitzkrieg charts and tables booklets. And 2 6-sided dice. So again, this has probably got a fairly old version of the BCS rules, seeing it was the first one, and I've just got Panzer's Last Stand, which has version 2, and I've just dropped a dice on the floor, and now I'm going to look very unedifying trying to retrieve it, and it's rolled as far as it could, right up to the wall, but I can grab it here. There we go. Talk amongst yourselves while I do that. Right, so this is it looks like this is the game specific book. So actually, with this game, if you haven't seen it, Tabletop's Edge channel, he's doing a full campaign run through of this on the board, not on Vassal, and he's going through the entire thing, and I probably don't have the guys to do that, so well done him. It's actually really watchable as well. I find BCS quite videographic, shall we say. It kind of works with playthroughs on video, I think, very well, because you can zoom in into particular areas of the map board rather than having to see the whole thing, and I go you go kind of thing. So but yes, anyway, back to what we've got here. There is a special rules, salt and pepper options. Okay, did I get the wrong game here? Bridges, buddies, and that's of course the same thing. There's a certain humour in the BCS kind of jargon in it, crossing streams and ghosting trains and stuff like that. So we've got a few more here. The tiger's worst enemy, itself. yeah. With the we've got that in Panzer's Last Stand. They keep just dropping off the map because they break down. Designs notes, historical notes. How many pages have we got? 36 pages. There's lots more, and order of battle analysis. Pages. We're on to 16 here. Unit analysis, armour, and got to the middle page. You can see the staples. Research, recommended reading, bibliography. So pretty much the first half of the book is just notes with, I think, just a veneer of a couple of pages of rules before that, and then the rest of it's scenarios. So campaign here, 16 December, 31st December, and of course I've got an extension to that, which I'll never probably use. Northern campaign, breakthrough campaign, southern campaign, Kampfergruppe Piper, the goose egg. Back to odd names again. Screaming Eagles Under Siege, Bastogne, yes. Advance and Destroy. That sounds like a happy scenario. Tip of the Spear. The Final Blitzkrieg. So this is the last, what was that? The last 8 days. And yeah, it's a lot of setup information. It's that very tight setup information which the gamers MMP have always done, which it's a little bit of work because it's all little writing, and at my age it starts to suffer. Right, retrieve 1 dice. Here's the second one. So red and white. All the series have that, red and white, red and white. Charts and tables. This is version 1, so this will be not used, because I would use the Panzer's Last Stand ones, the version 2s. Informational markers, they haven't changed particularly, so that will be useful. All the old pollard markers. I've got a bit of idea about pollard markers. I'm thinking about actually maybe something with that where it would be make them a bit more playable, because they're sitting underneath the counter, and the number pointing to the top of the unit is how many steps it has. That kind of, I mean they work, but they produce clutter, and especially if you mess up the stack, they can go every direction. I was just thinking we might have a better way of doing that, but again, keep that secret. We've got a map here, a map, which has a big word Belgium on it, and there we go, very mottled, and it's got Belgium written on it. And I would suppose that any of you guys who are Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans, and if you aren't, I'll explain it to you. In those series of books, the word Belgium is actually the worst insult in the universe. Sorry for Belgians. Sorry, it's just how it is. A very irreverent book, so don't take it seriously. But yes, it was all part of these stuff where Earth is actually a really bad joke on the rest of the universe. We just take everything, like all the insults and everything that the universe has ever invented, and we stick it in this planet. Like a big, two fingers up to the universe kind of thing. So it's not particularly a Belgium thing. Allied charts and tables. So yeah, we have these booklets. So that this gives you air points and replacements stuff, mainly terrain effects charts. So you get your own terrain effects chart. Although of course you don't have the graphics on there. So you have to take that off the map. There's a little map key on the map, and reinforcement schedule is the rest of its stuff. So that's that. Another set here. We've got obviously the German army here, the SS, in their resplendent black, and the Wehrmacht, and a bit of Luftwaffe there. Luftwaffe field. Oh, Fallschirmjägers. Yeah, paratroopers. German charts and tables version, pretty much the same thing, but with the German information instead of the American. More Germans, starts with a bit of Americans, and we've got our information stuff. Blown bridges, that's a big thing in this game, is the bridges. It's not so much in the others of the series, but it's pretty critical in this. A few Brits here as well, look at that. How are we doing in the chat? So what's happening here? Last Bricks really requires you to work with the terrain, loads of choke points. Yes, exactly. And I think I think that's where the system shines. I think is that. I think the system was built for Battle of the Bulge, and I know some people have been sort of unsatisfied with the North African games, Baptism of Fire and Brazen Chariots, because it's so open and you don't get that dynamic. And I think you possibly lose something in that. But having had both of those on the shelf and haven't actually played it, so I can't comment. But I have seen it played, and there was a few issues with that. This is the series rules, but it's version 1. Of course, version 2 is out now, and I've got that with Panzer's Last Stand. This is 40 pages worth, with a sequence and play and some charts on the back. And I think it pretty much... Oh no, there's some designer's notes here. Last kind of 6 pages worth is designer's notes, black and white. So the Panzer's Last Stand one is full colour, and you've got a lot of coloured stuff here. This still has diagrams, but it's certainly not as pretty as version 2. And I know people were complaining about the rulebook on BCS, it being, because it is quite such a different system. But they've never been that colourful on the rule books. MMP, as far as I understand, maybe on the ASL side, but on the other games, particularly on the gamers side of MMP. More charts and tables. Another map. Lots of splodges with all the bad terrain. Oops, this is upside down. And we got France inside, which I have absolutely nothing bad to say about France. So it's obviously on the back end by the MERS. I won't hold it up too long because I've got another 2 to go through. Informational markers, pretty standard ones. Another map, quickly, Morehouse, get on with it. Yeah, there's another one. Is that upside down? Probably. No, it's not, actually. I've got it right around. So that's more on the Germany side, I think. Yes, it's just the red ones are... These red hexes are the West Wall hexes. And I suppose the last one would be the Luxembourg map. Here's some Americans, lots of Americans. Lots of US troops, armoured divisions, armoured division, 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 armoured division. Now we go to Airborne. So, yeah, so pretty much all that side is all armoured, US armoured division. So, yeah, I suppose it gets pretty sad for the Germans right towards the end if they haven't been able to break through. Last map, it's got Germany written on this one, okay. Germany and Luxembourg. So, I heard they played football, was it last night? Germany won 9-0. And Luxembourg had a guy sent off because he kicked one of the German players in the head, gave away a penalty and got sent off. Oh dear. Not a good idea. More Americans here, and half a page of the informational stuff here. So, all good. It's all goodies. And this is our crib notes. Now there is a crib notes in Panzer's Last Stand, which is bigger than this. This is only 4 pages. You know, it's just a open fold open thing. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's good. Certainly the version 2 is bigger than this. And then we got the box bottom. Okay, solitaire suitability medium. Well, that'll do for me. I'll avoid the low, but a medium I'll give it a go. I'm sure we all would as well anyway. So let's stack this all back up here before it overwhelms us. Liechtenstein, sorry, not Luxembourg. Oh, you're right. There we go. I don't know my obscure Central European countries that well. Sorry. Yes, it was Liechtenstein. But it was a good story. It was a good anecdote anyway, even if it was wrong. You don't like the errata counters, Todd, for PLS? Is there errata counters? I hadn't noticed. Oh, I'm going to have to look at that. Yeah, errata counters. Or you don't like the errata counters in Panzer's Last Stand for the other games? But I don't know. I hadn't noticed. Oh, and after all that chasing around on the floor, I forgot to put the dice back in. Well, there you go. Right. That's game 2 of 5. Right. Next, what have we got? Okay, something a bit different here. We have Warriors of Japan, a country aflame, 1335 to 1339. Definitely not World War II. So this is who did this? Who doesn't actually say the author is. I'll have to have a look inside, but it's a Japanese author. He did Warriors of God, which I've got over there, which is the 100 Years' War, or, well, kind of end of Stephen's reign, 100 Years' War, England and France game. It's a bit knockabout. It's a bit of fun, not entirely serious. And this is supposed to be the similar thing, but for Japan. So I quite enjoyed Warriors of God, playing it face to face with other people. It's not to be taken hugely seriously, because you've been winning the game massively far ahead, and then most of your leaders just happen to just die, and suddenly you have no armies left, and the other side come roaring back, and you got to see the funny side of that. I'm afraid, otherwise you can't take that seriously, because you'll just go off into a corner and cry, or maybe. I don't know, let the tyres down on your opponent's car or something like that, and you don't really want to do that. So I'm really unsure whether the shrink wrap will hold on this, because it's a narrow box. But nice picture of the front with a really angry guy, samurai, or a daimyo maybe that's a daimyo. I'm not sure who that's meant to be. But let's have a look. One of our little cards. This is a lot shorter than the other ones, as you can imagine. It should contain one box and lid, and that's 1 out of the 5 items here. 1 2234 map sheet, 1 map sheet, good, I can work with that. 2 counter sheets, 1 rule book, and 10 6-sided dice. 10, look at that! Wow, I've only got about, I don't know, 200 already, but 10 6-sided. Yeah, I mean there's a lot. It's a bit of a dice roller. This that is true. So you do need them, right? And yeah, so this is the rule book. Just want to see the do they have the author here? Makoto Nakajima. Yeah, I think that was the guy who did the other one. So developer Adam Starkweather. So actually, there's a link. There's a link to the No Questions Surrender. There's a developer here. It's quite an old game, I think. When was it published? 2015, 6 years ago. So yeah, rule book is quite small, 16 pages only, full colour, which is for 2015 for the old MMP. That's not bad going. I'm not sure I like the sort of background here, where there's this sort of out of, yeah, these sort of faded pictures in the background, which I'm sure are really cool if I could actually focus on them. You know, it's like doing one of those magic eye pictures. You know, what the hell is that behind there? But it kind of gets in the way, don't you think? You know, what do you think? This sort of kind of, it's like somebody spilt tea on it and dried it off. It just kind of, I don't know. I'm not. It just spoils the clarity for me. But anyway, it's fairly simple game. And I say a little bit knockabout, to be honest. So that's our rule book. Counter sheet 1, front. There we go. So big. Is that an inch counters? Inch counters, I think. So these are all the leaders, and they have a limited lifetime usually. Yeah, and yeah, I'd have to get the colours right. So you had 3 types of leaders in Warriors of God. You had the 2 sides had leaders, and then there were some variables in the middle, which could be either side. You effectively you did a kind of kids football team thing where you said, well, okay, I've got my guys and he's got his guys, and now there's the guys who are left, and you kind of go, well, I'll have him, and then you choose, I'll have, he'll have him, and then I'll have him, and then the last guy standing kind of thing. It's generally not a lot of them, but maybe these have got two colours on the backs, so maybe that's these guys. But no, we only got 2 counter sheets, so no, that's probably just the normal chaps, I think. Interesting on the 2 colours. Not sure about that. Yeah. And here's these are your army counters. So this is informational actually is kind of 1 to 4. 1 and 2s, and there's some 6s up at the top, and there's some 4s, a few 4s, but mostly just 1s and 2s here, which are just the how you build the armies and the map. So this looks rather cool. See what you think. Yeah, the leader picks do look good, don't they? Yes. It's that very, very, shall we say, very Japanese. Yeah. So, what do you think of that then? Again, I can't. It's difficult for me to look at it with you. If I do this kind of thing, maybe that works. And I'm now getting cramp. So yes, it's area movement, of course, here, and we've got a victory points check on the top. So yeah, and how many turns? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 turns. Okay, and it's all one. Warriors of God has like 2 games in it, 2 time periods. This seems to be just 1 time period. Quick as you like, that's it for the game. So not a huge amount in there, but as I said, I thought when I saw it, I thought, hadn't realised that there was another Warriors of God, and I thought it was like a cool knockabout game. why not go for this? I think it was like $15 or something. I think it was. Magnus is here. Yay! Hi, Magnus. I haven't seen you for a while, actually. How you been getting on? Lucky Little Luxembourg was in the Charles Roberts Awards. Really? Actually, I saw something like that on Twitter, and I thought, yeah, somebody's pulling my leg. But really, it's not a game. It's yeah. Close your ears if ladies are present. It's a bit of a piss take, isn't it? As I understood. But well, great. You know, who can complain about an award ceremony, an award system with a bit of sense of humour? I think that would be really good. Actually, that's a good idea. What have we got next? We have To Take Washington. So this is the Line of Battle series, American Civil War battle game there. Jubal Early's summer 1864 campaign. Now, interestingly enough, of course, if you've been watching the live streams with Ruff, I don't know if Ruff's still here, but he's probably fallen asleep by now. Or found something different, more interesting at the SD stuff. So that's the Shenandoah Valley, and half of the game is in the 1864, and usually has the aftermath of Early's attack towards Washington and the failure, and then he falls back, and there's a series of battles in the Shenandoah. So actually, this kind of complements it. Shall we say yes? Okay. So. Medium complexity, solitaire suitability. So I don't have any line of battle games, but I do have, going way back, I do have a Civil War Brigade series, which I think was where this started. So I think this is regimental. I'll have a look when we see it. But Civil War Brigade series, I've got August Fury, which is that second Manassas. I think second Bull Run, and actually, if you look at it now, it's a horrible graphically. It's a horrible thing. I mean, the map is I don't know why the map it's just very stark white, dark brown, bright green, bright blue kind of thing, and the counters are sort of very basic. But this looks a lot more, as you'd expect these days. They're graphically a lot better. But let's have a look in here. I could read the back, but I'll probably put you to sleep, so I won't. This is 2018. This one, so it'll be interesting to see what's different. I've also got one of the Napoleonic Brigade series, which was roughly the same system, but in Napoleon's time, of course. Shock horror. You don't say. Yes, indeed. I've got these short wrap backs are now overflowing here. Let's see what we have here. So I know you can't see this, but you know it's not your normal unboxing thing. Box lid, of course. The usual, very helpful little message from our sponsor. Sponsor, yeah, like I have sponsors. What do we got? One box and lid, of course we have. 3 22 by 34 maps. So right, so we've had 2 1s, a 4, and now a 3. So that's okay. A little bit of variation. And one of the ones was an odd dimension as well. So we're getting a nice diversity of mappage. Is that a word? Mappage? I don't know. Ruff's still here. What are you doing? Go and do something interesting. What are you still doing here? 3 map sheets, 3 counter sheets, 1 unit sheet, and 2 marker sheets. That kind of tells you about the system if there's 1 counter sheet and 2 marker sheets. A Line of Battle series version 2 rulebook. I don't know if that's the latest. Wouldn't be surprised if it is, because it's only 2018. 1 To Take Washington rulebook. 2 Line of Battle charts and tables booklets. 2 player aid cards. So that's different from the charts and tables. So battle charts and tables booklets, and then 2 player aid cards. 1 for turn record, 1 for terrain key. Presumably they'd be like one-sided, I suppose, but we'll see. 2 6-sided dice. So Yeah, letting the side down with the Warriors of Japan with the 10, I think kind of wins it at the moment on the dice and diceness. Is diceness a word? Maybe it's getting a bit too late here anyway. Right. Line of Battle series. This is the two texture. So this is the game specific. This is not colour. 20 pages. More the traditional kind of gamers format here. Black and white. We have what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of special rules. Confederate special rules, federal special rules, linked games. Oh, you can link these with some of the other games. Now, I understand it. There's a kind of so this is the Battle of Monocacy. Hope I got that right. Otherwise, the Americans won't come on my channel again if I get one of their battle names wrong. Only kidding. And also there is a bit where you can actually go on to a bit of Washington to try and have a bite at the defences. I think, from what I read, but we'll have to look at that. It doesn't say anything about it yet here. Okay, so it says here Baltimore or Washington. So the Confederate player must select his strategic objective before Monocacy play begins. Once selected, cannot be changed. This is interesting, honestly. Pay attention. The Union player is not to be informed of this choice until the Battle of Monocacy terminates. If the player chooses Baltimore, you follow a certain set of rules. And you get a certain type of win. Okay. Yeah, you check against the success chart for how you finish the battle, I think, and you might actually win and take Baltimore. If he chooses Washington, and you actually have a battle over Fort Stevens. So, okay. Right, so I thought there was a little bit extra here, which again, it was a bit interesting. Interesting, you get a kind of follow-up. Line of battle charts and tables. Yeah, on the sort of BCS kind of Panzer's Last Stand, it's even a bit more colourful than that. So you've got your yellows and your oranges, but if you get to here, terrain effects, you've even got some browns and blues and greens. So I feel a bit spoilt there from MMP. Nice one, guys. Oh, there's even some red and green down here as well. So not quite the sort of well, it's not monochrome, is it? So duochrome, triochrome, yeah. Probably, as if this is our unit sheet. So I think again, yeah, I think these are regiments. Go up close to the camera with leaders, of course. What else do we have here? We have I think this is I think this might be chit pool. I can't remember. It's so long since I played August Fury. I think it might be chit pool. And so there's some chits here as well. What looks like chits. There's actually no. So they're HQs. So yeah, there's a difference between where the leader is, who runs the HQ, and the HQ. You can kind of they don't necessarily have to be in the same place. Looks like there's some cavalry. Bit of cavalry, but mostly infantry and artillery, of course. That's fairly normal in these battles. Yeah. So. Very nice, and these are columns and mounted versions of the front. If you're cavalry, you're mounted. If you're infantry, you're in column. And artillery is limbered, I suppose. Yeah, limbered up. So, and unlimbered on the front. The Confederate counters have a little state outline. So Virginia and North Carolina and stuff here. Also color coded with yeah, there's sort of various other symbols which presumably were core symbols. I think I've seen them before in like Gettysburg games and stuff on the Union side, but there's some with a sort of partially built Capitol Hill. Don't know if you can see that there, either in red or, well, presumably red or yellow, or white, I think. So those must be like the Washington garrison or something. stands to reason. Terrain key without the terrain effects on. So yeah, again, separating those two things out is just slightly, you know, but okay, it's all there. And the elevation, of course. Here's another counter sheet. This is, yeah, these are all informations. Pollards again, I've got a little idea on those. That's shaken bloodlust, so that means you're not only rallied, but you're kind of beyond rallied. You've got disorganized and routed on the back. Those are the status of the units. Yep, it's mostly that. I think that's ammunition, I think. Possibly. Yeah. Map. To take Washington. This is map B. Monocacy map B. Is Monocacy right? Am I saying that right? Sounds like a board game. A Monopoly? Monocacy? I'm going to be shot now, aren't I? Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, and some heights here, and that must be the Monocacy River. It certainly is. So there's quite a decent amount of terrain here. So lowland, highland stuff, ridges, big river, bridges. So busy, certainly busy. Railway bridging as well. Some woods, yeah, some woods. What have we got now? Series Rules version 2. So again, I don't know if this is the latest, but I imagine it probably is. This is 36 pages, and only 3 pages of that is notes and designer notes. The rest are rules. I think there's probably some optionals, but again, not much. A couple of pages of optionals. The rest of it, and again, it's a sort of gamer's black and white, you know, dense stuff. But you know you like it, don't you? Yeah, you know you like it. Yeah, all that dense rulebook stuff. Well, I certainly do. Okay, to take Washington, Fort Stevens map. Okay, so this is the different place. This is where you get to if you want to actually take Washington and you win Monocacy. So that's not the same river though, is it? No, that's Rock Creek. Forgive me on the geography of this. It's not a battle I know very well. So again, very busy. Lots of heights, river running through the middle, roads, ridges, forest, creeks. No, that's just me. It's not the map. It's me creaking. Right. So Fort Stevens then. Didn't see a lot of fort stuff. You know, you expect to see like. Let me just look at that again. I expect to see kind of like trenches and things like that, and sort of armor. Oh yeah, there's a bit of fort up here. U.S. military asylum. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that. Right, another charts and tables, and Monocacy map A. Okay. So more river, lots of river here actually. It's quite dominating the map. The main Monocacy map, isn't it? Oh, actually, so that looks like it went on the top. You got Frederick City just there, so you've got a city here as well. A bit flatter, but the terrain on the other side is still quite varied here. The Georgetown Pike and the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad continues up there past Frederick. So yeah, nice stuff. More information. I think that's a duplicate. Yeah, it's the same sheet again. And oh, that's rather an elaborate turn record track. How's that? Yeah. Oh, this is grading for nighttime and daytime stuff and all this. Looks like one of those. What do you mean? Like sort of one of these digital watches. You know, sort of ones with screens and stuff. The latest sort of smartwatches stuff. So it looks a bit like one of those smartwatch things. Faces. So 3 days, Saturday, July the 9th, and then Monday, July the 11th, Tuesday, July the 12th are the days on here. And yeah, 2 dice. Good. That's that one done. we've only got one left. For those who are still awake, for those who are asleep, we've only got one left. That probably worked. Hopefully, Wardrobe's had his cup of tea as well to keep him awake. So remember the dice this time, and there we have 2 take Washington. That sounded a bit rude, actually. There's something nasty happening to the president. Okay, and big disappointment here, guys. This is not an unboxing. This is an unbagging. So, and this is GD42 Gross Deutschland. Now, interesting enough, this is Tactical Combat series, which I like, and I must admit I missed most of them when they first came out. I have one of those, which is way old, which is Omaha the Bloody Beach. So that's the kind of one half of Omaha Beach, the landings, which is really good solo and really terrible 2-player, because yeah, the Germans just keep rolling dice. That's all they do is roll dice, and once they lose units, then that's pretty much it. But it's great solo. I did play it once, actually. Way back, about 20, when it first came out. So that's the only one I've got. I did have a copy of Black Wednesday, but I don't know where it went. Todd, you're counting. You're keeping me honest here. Yeah, 4 and 1 make 5. Indeed, yes. Drink some more tea. Indeed, go for it. Yes. Yeah, a bit of English breakfast, even though it's not breakfast time. So yeah. But what I did do is I stayed away from these GD ones. There's a GD40, there's a GD41, and I didn't actually know there was a GD42. And what can I say? I'm not comfortable with games which kind of go into depth on a particular German formation, especially something like Gross Deutschland. I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong ways, because there's two sides in the game, and I understand that there's a link in the series. I think GD40 is about against the French. 41 is Barbarossa. This is 1942, of course. So I kind of stayed away from them because I just wasn't quite comfortable with them. So this is GD42, and this was the game that I added to the 4. So the other 4 were the ones I got in the sale. This wasn't in the sale. And I was thinking, oh, what do they have on TCS? And I saw this, and I thought, oh, GD. Yeah. And then I clicked on it and had a look. But actually, there's not a lot of Gross Deutschland in this. There's like 3 battalions or something. And there's a lot of other German units. And they are being attacked by the Russians. So this is the Operation Mars, which was happened pretty much at the same time as Operation Uranus, which was the surrounding of Stalingrad. But this happened near Moscow. This is the attempted to form another pocket up there called the Vyazma pocket, which failed. So this didn't work. And so I suddenly thought, well, okay, never mind with the name. This is, shall we say, this is Gross Deutschland getting a bit of a pasting, at least. I mean, okay, it seems like they won, but they were on the defensive and struggling quite a bit. So I thought, well, okay, that takes the slight distastefulness of the title away. I mean, silly thing possibly. It's a silly thing to think, but it's just me. So I thought, oh, okay, actually, I'll look at this. So this was the 5th one. Now, what you see is it's in a bag, but it was a boxed game. It obviously looks like it was in a boxed game. If I get everything out of here, because I'm just rustling this plastic, and it's probably giving everybody a headache. So I'll just get rid of the plastic. And no shrink wrap thing, unfortunately. Can't keep my record up. So the front of it, if you kind of look, this is a scan of the original front. So that isn't Yeah, it's not very good actually. In fact, it doesn't quite go to the edge of the box. It's got you've got yeah, it's on like NMP almost instead of MMP because the bit is missing here. But game designer Wig Graves. It's a Dean Exit game, of course. The TCS is his, and it's version 4, and the designer of version 4 was Lee Forrester. So, and this is a 2009 game, I think. I'll have to have a look in the chart, but still get our little leaflet thing. Very nice, thank you. Do I play TCS with the command sheets and plans? I must admit I haven't been able to play it very much. So yes and no. So I actually do have a second TCS game, which is Monocacy, which is the Marines on Guadalcanal, which is which is quite a small game as well. And I have played a bit of that, but I've kind of only had to solo it. And I suppose TCS doesn't work very well solo. But I still like the system, so even though it's not quite, doesn't quite work, I like playing with it. And the command sheets and plans, yes, but also, for example, with the one we just saw, to take Washington, the Line of Battle series. So you still do the same thing, command sheets and plans, but instead of drawing things out, you actually sort of write orders. It's like a like a one-liner kind of thing with a time and a set of units who are going to be ordered, and you just write like a line. So it's like an abbreviated version of that. So I have a couple of times when I've been doing it solo just used that. So I've nicked it from one system to the other. But yeah, I do like the command sheets and the plans and stuff, but I've never been able to use it much in anger because I've been soloing it mostly. Is it too close to history if it's just about Grossdeutschland? So I'm not sure I can parse that. But yeah, it was just the idea that whatever battle they were looking to do, it was focused on the German formation, and it just had a slightly history. Fine, it just seemed the focus was wrong for me, and I've kind of broken that duck with this one because, from what I can tell, Grossdeutschland gets a bit of a pasting here. So. We were going to go through this little sheet here. So 3 maps. It doesn't say the size, but I'm pretty sure they're the 2234 kind. 3 counter sheets. Ooh, 1 counter sheet per map. 1 GD42 specific rulebook. 1 TCS 4 series rulebook. I think 4's the latest, I would have thought. I don't know because I haven't got any of the later ones. 2 charts and tables booklets, 2 morale charts. Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for delivery. But we start with a map. And when I said so, I said at the beginning, it's sort of it's a grand unboxing. It's a grand unboxing / unbagging, but I didn't want to say that. Keep a bit of suspense going, even though the reveal is pretty weak. Nice maps. I always like the TCS maps. And this one's pretty good. I mean, the old TCS maps are quite nice, but that's quite something actually. I quite like that. You've got the relief here, river, VPs, I think. These are particular locations, roads, etc. So if you can see all that, just there's another panel, but the camera isn't wide angle. It's just a crappy webcam, so. It might not be able to fit it in, but that's the entire map, and there's 3 of them. And I think they orientate one on top, one on the bottom, and then one bolted to the side, sideways. Is how it is. Oops. Yep. Fighting with a microphone again. Sorry. Right. 1 map done. 2 more to go. Counter sheet. Soviets, obviously. So. Like a lot of these games, like BCS, like OCS, etc. So you have a kind of fire mode and move mode on the back, but you've got individual. I think are these platoons? I think they're platoons. But you haven't got NATO designation. You've got pictures. It's all pictures. Individual tanks as well. So this is tactical combat series, but it's kind of a little step up from what you like with a sort of squad leader and stuff. I find it just a little bit grander, shall we say, in scope. Artillery batteries as well, mortars, similar, I suppose, to the GTS kind of, or maybe slightly more tactical than GTS. Some aircraft here. Here we've got Ju-88s, Ju-87s as well. Flaks. So you've got vehicle or point units, which are the tanks, the flak units, the artillery, etc. And then you've got the infantry, with sort of area units, machine gun stuff here. Yeah, and these strange blue ones are fire missions, and their strength. Infantry guns. Yeah, flak stuff for the Germans up here. Groy Station 42. This is the game specific, and we have 16 pages. Specific notes here. We have, was it 3 pages? 4 pages. 4 pages. Soviet special rules for artillery. German ones for air power, artillery replacements, setup, command and control, some terrain notes, and snow. This is a snowy thing. So these little, so if you see on here, you've got these little sort of pimply things. That's actually forest, but of course they've done it out in a bit of white because it's snowy. Scenarios. We've got what? Centre gives ground, attack in the south, first assault, campaign start, river line holds, southern flank is turned, campaign start later, storm across the Lucchesa, halted in the south, campaign start even later. Well, that's a hell of a load of scenarios there. And then it's all designers notes, historical notes, order of battle, bibliography, and oh, that's interesting. This is where the battle is taking place. The was it the Ushev salient there? Yeah. So this is kind of Moscow's that way, and then this is like a bulge that the Soviets have, and they try and nick this off, and it doesn't work. But they're coming from this side. So yeah, strangely enough, for this game, you've got the Soviets coming in from the west and the Germans coming in from the east. Bit weird, but there you go. This is the third map, and this is the. I've only done one map. Have I done one map or 2 maps? No, just one map. This is the second map. This is the south map, so this is the one underneath. Very similar to the other ones, of course. It's I suppose it's a kind of steppe, Belarusian steppe kind of thing here. So there we go. But again, very pretty. I can't quite like that. Quite like that, and especially for a game that's bagged. Although it wasn't cheap as a bag game, you know, mostly bag games are kind of cheaper from the cheaper than the boxed ones. But this was still quite. I think it was because this wasn't on the sale. You had to pay full price for this. I think this was about $50, which for a bag game is quite a lot. Informational markers. So this is losses. What have we got here? Minefields, fired markers, impulse markers, smoke. And some Russian point units here. This is anti-tank guns up here. So yeah. So 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s for the lost markers and suppressed markers as well. So yeah. This is the series rules 401. So these should be pretty much up to date. I think 4.01. Yeah, this is the. If you're not familiar with the system, these are the diagrams you've got to draw. So these are the command plans. So you've got to denote what unit is going to do what, and then you have to kind of churn through a time to work, to find out when the order will actually be accepted and actually go forward. So that's the kind of system there. You have these little. You'll see the maps here, the mini maps here in a minute. This is the German counters. Same again, fire mode, move mode. We have tanks here. We have Stugs. We have Panzer IVs. That's about it, actually, I think. Stugs and Panzer IVs, which are Großdeutschland, of course. It looks like Großdeutschland is about almost all of one side, but all of this isn't. So this is other infantry battalions here. Anti-tank guns, 50 mil, 76.2 mils, 37 mils. Jaegers, 105s and 150 artilleries. Machine gun units, infantry gun, 75mm infantry guns, some ski troops even. Yeah, and some flak stuff here as well. This is motorised flak. These are little half tracks with the flak on the top. You've got those here as well. Yeah, that's what we've got here. So, and they're colour coded. So this is the different companies, I think. Is slightly they've got the different bar, a bit like Panzer's Last Stand, I suppose. Third map, final map for you guys. So the tortuous craning to try and look at what I'm trying to show you here with a substandard camera and not a lot of room to do it in. So this is the top to bottom, one stuck on the side. So this is the Western map here. Put it in front of me. And you definitely can't see me. Look, it's a map with hands. So yeah, very similar terrain again, but again, really pretty. I think it really works graphically. A lot of people have a problem with the slight, shall I say, the slight lack of starkness, the sort of vagueness to the colouring in OCS, and a little bit, I suppose, in Panzer's Last Stand, in BCS as well, where it looks slightly washed out. This does look washed out, but it looks really cute. You know what it reminds me of, although the colours are different, is the Red Winter, G&T's Red Winter, which is mostly white, but it's nice white. This is kind of a nice beige. Nice beige. I'm probably at that kind of age where I can say things like, nice beige. Yeah, anyway. Charts and tables. So yeah, command acceptance, movement. These are little. This shows you all the different things you have to write down on the maps, on the plans, and then we have fire resolution artillery stuff up here. So quite busy, and again, you've got this sort of white with yellow, maybe orange kind of gamers MMP kind of thing. I'll get to the maps at the end just to keep you in suspense. German morale chart. So the individual formations could just fall apart with terrain effects down the bottom. Another chart, same as the other ones. And here we have one more Soviet morale chart. So the same thing, you've got a box for each battalion. Yeah, I think it's battalion. Yes. Possibly regiment on the infantry. No, they are battalions. Yeah, battalions. And so these are the mini maps. So if I move them out, so that is West map only. So this is the kind of thing you photocopy and you draw on, and so you draw your little patterns on where the targets are, the direction of travel, etc., and any exceptions or break-offs or anything like that. I don't know if it comes through really well. No, probably not well. It needs to be a bit back for you to see them all. Yeah. So it's just a sort of black and white photocopied version of that West map, but there are versions of the whole map, and so you can see now how it's put together. So here, does that? It's probably a bit too low. So here you got West map and then North and South map here, and that's the entire thing. And this is where you go drawing things, and you make notes on the side here, and you have to get these orders accepted, and then you can move the units. You can't just randomly move in this game. If you don't order them, the units just sit there and don't do anything. A nice beige tweezers. It's not a bad idea, actually. You know, I was thinking actually getting some gold paint and getting some gold tweezers. And it's like, it's like the I don't know if you guys know Doctor Who. It's a British sci-fi series. It's been running for about 250 years. And the nemesis of the Doctor is the Daleks. There's these sort of slightly crazy, people call them upturned dustbins on wheels, and they're all different colours. But then, the really special one is gold coloured. So I was thinking like gold tweezers, put some gold paint on it. It probably won't stick to plastic, so probably a forlorn hope. But I had that. But beige tweezers, yeah. Or the faint. How about magnolia tweezers, eh? That's yeah, seriously sad. Magnolia tweezers. There we go. So GD42 has got magnolia maps. So even the wife might like them. Oh, they're quite pretty. Yeah, we could do out the front. We could do out the front room with that colour, with those maps. What do you reckon? Okay, so that is GD42, and of course the strange things with these bagged ones is once you cut the counters up, what can you do? However, I do have a kind of remedy here because I went a bit Amazon mad, and I got these loads of baggies, but I also bought a load of these things as well. These kind of medicine pill boxes for counters. I think there's a decent number of compartments here. I think that'll work. I've used it on a couple. I've got a couple of those. Also, two of these fit in the standard bookcase game box size. They actually fit sideways, so you can stick two of those in there flat. So I think those will be useful. I've used them in a couple of games so far, but not many. Annihilate. No, it's exterminate. Sorry, Peter. It's exterminate. Yeah, not annihilate. Not annihilate. The Doctor wouldn't know what was going on if there was a load of Daleks saying annihilate. They got a cold or something. Yeah, the map. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, I like that map. Yeah, better than the original TCS stuff. But of course, it's a long running. The titles I've got from the 90s, so it's not surprising. But they have done a good job on the update there. So, but that's my 5 games. So quite a haul, really. And yeah, just you don't have to apologise, all right? Yeah, he gets a Doctor Who reference right off the channel. Go, yeah, don't darken my camera again. She got a Doctor Who reference wrong. Don't worry. Good. So yeah, I normally with these chats I actually go through some of the games I've been playing and stuff. So I think I'll probably leave it to you guys. It's getting rather late here. I wanted to do things a bit later because I wanted to make sure I interfered completely with what SD HistoryCon were doing and just bugger about with their attendees. Yeah. So I think the unboxing is quite enough for one evening. What happens when the Daleks encounter stairs? Now this is interesting. Okay. It's turned into a Doctor Who thread. Bloody hell. Yeah, originally so Doctor Who kind of was really big in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, and in the late 80s it died. Everybody stopped watching it because it was a bit rubbish, and it died. They stopped making them, and at that point that problem hadn't been solved. Nobody knew what that. It was a sort of running joke because they were on wheels effectively. There's these dustbins on wheels, and so when you get to a stairs, we can't take over planet Earth because there's some stairs here. You have to invent lifts or something, so they have to use the lift. But when they brought it back in the early 2000s, and everybody was there, and they brought the Daleks back, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, here we go." So they actually put that into one of the episodes. So the Daleks appeared, and these people ran up the stairs. And they were like, everybody was like, "Oh, we're safe now." And then the bugger started hovering. They started levitating, and they levitated up the stairs. So it was like, "Oh, fine." Yeah, these evil geniuses of the universe have currently worked out how to do stairs by doing a levitation. But there you go, Peter. Just a bit of useless public information there for you. What happens when they encounter stairs? They just float up them. That's what they do. But that's the kind of information you get on this channel. Wargaming and lots of other esoteric rubbish. Right, well, I'm going to be on Jester's War Room tomorrow evening. So if you, yeah, I think, yeah, if you look at the, I don't know if you have access to any of the shows, but it's the first of the 2000s. So the early guy, Christopher Eccleston, I think, was the actor for Doctor Who then, who I thought actually was really, really good as a Doctor. Yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow with Jester, with Ruff and Tony, hopefully, if he turns up, for some more chat and abuse and general ribaldry. I think I pronounced that right. If you need more from here, from the Blue Tweezers channel, I've just released the second video of the Panzer's Last Stand. It's not a very interesting one, and it's also quite short. So there's a mercy for you. But yeah, thanks for popping in. Lots of people, staggering amount of people. Don't you all have homes to go to? And there's a virtual con on. There's a gaming con on, guys. Well, what can I say? No accounting for taste, as I always say. Good. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow night at the War Room. And if not, then well, not sure when. I'll let you know. Watch the thing and watch out for that special, maybe in a couple of weeks' time as well, on the channel. But until then. I suppose I'd better say bye for now, and have a good weekend, and maybe see you tomorrow. Bye for now.